like I said, we're going to read Isaiah 63. This is a chapter that I do mention a lot because it is very important when it comes to understanding the second coming. Most people, well, in Judaism, most Jews believe of Mashiach as a regular person, not from a virgin, who would have sinned as everybody else and would become the anointed king in order to be able to build the temple and resume pretty much all the sacrifices and the fulfillment of the Torah according to how they understand it, which means the letter. Therefore, not right, but is what they are expecting. That is pretty much the reason why Christians believe that the Messiah of the Jewish people is the Antichrist. And there is certain truth regarding what Jews will accept and how it will be somebody who is against the true Messiah. So that is true. It is true, but there's also certain things that are twisted in the Christian doctrine that will sadly lead them through a wrong path, or is leading them pretty much through the wrong path. And like I said, when it comes to the Jewish people, that is how they view Messiah. I'm not sure if I could say most, but a great part, at least those who study a lot of Judaism, they know of two Messiahs. So that is even closer to what we see in scriptures, and it's amazing when we understand it. But the way they see it still is not completely according to the Spirit, only according to the letter and the interpretations of many of their ancestors or rabbis whom they pretty much worship. So they have certain doctrines regarding Messiah which are right, other ones that are completely wrong, pretty much because they rejected already the first. They rejected Yahushua HaMashiach, the Kohen Hagadol. So since they rejected him, they were not able to receive the Spirit in order to understand everything that they have in information according to the Ruach, to really understand that information that they have. So on the other hand, Christians believe in Jesus as they have been taught of him, and they believe that he himself, just as he left and pretty much misinterpreting certain verses. For instance, Acts 1 is one of the verses that most people use to go against what the scripture, the rest of scripture, says regarding the second coming. So they believe that exactly the same one who left in body would return from the heavens and pick everyone up during a rapture and continue up to the heavens. And then that's how they see the second coming, pretty much as what they call the rapture, being raptured, but that same person who went up in Acts 1. So that's, in a nutshell, how they see the second coming. And that is not at all a second coming, the way scripture says it would be. First of all, that is just passing by, not coming. And well, like I said, there's a lot in scriptures that we are going to see in this chapter, but I just wanted to mention the two doctrines regarding Messiah. In Judaism, they see it as two Messiahs, one from the tribe of Yehuda and one from the tribe of Yosef. That is correct. Yahushua already fulfilled the one from the tribe of Yehuda, coming from a virgin, but being legally son of Yosef, son of David. So the last has to come from Ephraim, from Yosef. Now, Christians they are not taught regarding the two messiahs and a bunch of other things. So they see it as just one who went up and then will pass by picking everybody up. But scripture tells us that before the harvest, which they call the rapture and have a wrong doctrine, the actual harvest, which happens in the middle of the last 7 years, most Christians believe that their rapture will happen at the beginning of the last 7 years. So that shows how the doctrine is completely different. In the half of the last 7 years, the last trumpet will sound. And when the last trumpet sounds, the chosen few will be harvested, transformed in the blink of an eye, taken to the heavens through the hand of Yahweh, which is his malach, Mikael, who would manifest first before that harvest on earth, preaching the true doctrine, giving testimony of the Messiah, Yahushua, being his messenger, therefore his representation, just like Yahushua is the clear representation of the Father. So the same with the last, as Yahweh through the entire book of Isaiah explains, and clearly 3 times, saying, I am the first and I am the last. He will manifest twice. Yahweh in Psalm 110 said to Mashiach, well, David in Psalm 110 says, Yahweh said to my sovereign, sit at my right hand, till I go down and put your enemies as your footstool. So Yahweh himself told Messiah, Yahushua, to sit at the right hand, so that Yahweh can manifest again on earth through his malach, in order to bring down the enemies of Messiah. The enemies of Messiah are those who reject him on earth, but also the angels who make sure they could kill him, pretty much Satan, Lucifer. And we see that in Revelation 12, when Lucifer, Satan, will fall to earth, being thrown out of heaven by the hand of Yahweh, Mikael. So when Satan falls to earth, that is in the middle of the last 7 years. That is why there is the second Exodus, and the chosen few will be harvested, because Satan will fall to earth, being expelled from heaven. And that moment when Satan falls from heaven to earth, that is when Satan falls from the throne. The throne of Yahweh is the heavens, and his footstool is the earth. So when Satan falls to the earth, that is the enemies of Mashiach falling as his footstool. So Yahweh will manifest again, but not as the Kohen Gadol, which is Yahushua, now as a king to fight, but with his spirit. So that's why he comes as the consuming fire, angry as the wrath, to give testimony and save the chosen few, but pretty much condemn through that testimony those who reject Messiah. And that is one of the 2 witnesses of Revelation 11. The other one is Eliyahu. So we see in Revelation 11 and the rest of scriptures that the 2 witnesses appear, and they prophesied for 3.5 years. And after they testify for those 3.5 years, they are killed. They resurrect. They go up, just like Yahushua in Acts 1. And once they go up, Satan is kicked out of heaven. So we see that Yahweh is coming to earth as the last, to bring down the enemies of Yahushua to his footstool, would be as one of the 2 witnesses, once again being joined by another witness, just like Yahushua came, and John the Baptist was also given testimony of Yahushua as Messiah. So now Yahweh will manifest again, and on his side will be Eliyahu. The second coming of Eliyahu was a clear picture of how the second coming of Yahweh to this earth would be. Yahweh does not do anything before he reveals it to his prophets, to his servants, the prophets. Yahweh doesn't do anything in this reality unless he already wrote it down. He already said it, and it's in the plan, which is the scriptures. So, as we know, Eliyahu, the prophet, didn't die. Yahweh took him. He went up. But then, years later, he was born again on earth through a couple, regular couple. He was born on this earth as John the Baptist. Yahushua said, if you can receive it, he is Eliyahu who was to come. So Yahushua clearly said, if you have enough faith to understand that he is the second coming of Eliyahu, then do so. Yahuhanan, the immerser, John the Baptist, is the second coming of Eliyahu. But some people would ask, but why? We were expecting Eliyahu to come from the heavens in a cloud, because he went up alive. Just like they say right now of Yahushua. No, he's supposed to come in a cloud. The same one that went up, because we saw it in Acts 1. We could say the same regarding Eliyahu, because we saw it in the book of Kings, that he went up, so he's supposed to come down. But no, he was born as a regular person, what people would call reincarnation. So Yahushua said, if you can receive it, that means that some people cannot. And I have seen that a lot of people cannot because of the false doctrines, pretty much. So the second coming of Eliyahu was John the Baptist. He was born from a regular couple, while as Eliyahu, he went up alive. So we see there a picture that just like Yahushua went up alive, the second coming would be the Son of Man, meaning somebody who would be born from a regular man and a woman, not from a virgin like the last time. And that is also found in the book of the prophet Micah, and also in the book of the prophet Yirmiyahu, and also in Isaiah. Isaiah 7 speaks of the birth of the Messiah through a virgin. Isaiah 9 speaks of the birth of the last through a woman who is not a virgin. So the Isaiah 7 and Isaiah 9 speaks of the birth of the first and the last.